But this morning I was going to talk just a little bit about forgiveness, because truly that's a topic that you can talk about for hours, maybe even have like a whole weekend retreat on the importance of forgiveness and what it really means. But my mentor, Jack Kornfield, always says that the work of the heart begins with forgiveness. But to understand forgiveness, I guess it's really important to sort of clarify what it means and maybe, what it doesn't mean. So, for example, forgiveness isn't weakness. It's not, it's not naive. It actually takes great strength and great courage to practice forgiveness. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is a sacred text or sacred writings to the Hindu tradition and faith, it says, if you want to meet the heroic, look for those who can return love in return for hatred. And if you want to find the courageous, look for those who can forgive. So forgiveness does take a great deal of courage and takes great strength to do. But forgiveness also doesn't mean you sort of like forgive and forget. It doesn't condone what's happened to you. If there was any harm or any hurt that was caused to you, then of course it's good to remember that, because if a person has not changed and you just keep allowing this person back into your life, they're going to follow the same patterns and the same behaviors that they have in the past, and most likely are just going to hurt you again. So it's good to be aware of that. So when we do forgive somebody, the forgiveness is really more for us. And it can take a long process. Forgiveness can be years of grief and tears and anger and regret and pain, and it can be a process to get through. So please have patience and have compassion with yourself when practicing forgiveness. Sometimes we say, well, I should be over it by now, but that's not always true. It does take time. And so even if you think that you should be over it by some point and find that maybe there's some hurt or animosity that's still arising within you, allow yourself the compassion to touch it gently and the patience to take however long it takes to get through it. But again, the forgiveness really is, though, for ourselves, so that we can let go of baggage, so that we are no longer chained to the past. Because until we forgive certain situations and people and things, we're still chained and carrying around the baggage from that. So the process of forgiveness, which you do work in the loving kindness practice, because there's that point where we're sending out loving energy and sending out these well wishes and loving phrases to persons who have hurt us or harmed us or wronged us in some type of way. And so what that process is doing is help to release or break those chains from the past. But the other thing that it allows us to do is forgiveness allows the heart to finally, sort of, you could say, open and renew its original goodness. So it's a wonderful practice. And I thank all of you who do tune in and join us, because you're working not only on sending out wonderful energies and positive things to others in the world, but we're also working on ourselves to help break those chains that tie us to the past, to let go of the baggage so that we can move further and grow and develop in our journey, which is what this is all about, and cultivate that seed of altruistic love for all beings. So let's get started. I invite you now to get into any relaxed or comfortable position. You're more than welcome to sit up or lay down, whatever feels right to you. And just center yourself in this moment. Bring all your awareness and attention to the now, and let's begin by taking a couple of deep, long breaths together. So I invite you to take a long, deep breath in, and then slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And take another long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And one more long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And now just allow your breath to settle to whatever its natural, regular rhythm is in this moment. You're no longer controlling or regulating your breath in any way, but just simply trying to observe the body breathe. However the breath is happening, don't worry about if it's fast or slow, but just allow the breath in the moment to be as it is. Not as you want it to be, or think it should be, or expect it to be, but just as it's showing itself. The only agreement you make with yourself is that whenever the mind wanders, just gently and lovingly encourage yourself to go back to the breath. And now we begin the loving kindness practice by first sending some loving energy inwards towards ourself. We start with ourself first. And so I invite you to begin to move your awareness away from the breath and to include your entire being. Bring all your awareness and attention to you. You deserve your own attention. You deserve some care, some self-love. Taking some time to love and care for yourself is not selfish. And so now, while keeping your awareness upon you, please just silently repeat these 4 statements after me. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now please just take a few moments to sincerely and wholeheartedly continue to offer yourself your own loving kindness by just continuing to silently repeat and offer yourself those well wishes. And please don't worry if you have a very busy mind this morning. If you're having a lot of thoughts, don't get frustrated. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. It's perfectly natural, perfectly fine. Just whenever you notice that the mind has wandered, just refocus. Bring your awareness back to you. Bring some loving attention to you. And just start again with the phrases. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And if you're finding a little bit maybe difficult to offer yourself this loving kindness, sometimes we feel unworthy of the attention, you can just put a smile on your face. It's often recommended by one of the great Zen masters that when we do our practice, we shouldn't be going into it as like some grim duty, but rather something we're approaching with playfulness, curiosity, and friendliness. And by putting a smile on your face, it often helps us to cultivate that loving kindness towards ourselves and others. And now we're going to begin to move our loving kindness outwards towards a series of people. And so now I'm going to invite you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can someone you love a lot. Now, this person that you love dearly, it could be a family member, it can be a very dear close friend. The person can be living or deceased. That's not important to the practice. But what you're just trying to do is trying to call to mind someone you love dearly. Think about someone you love as maybe seated before you or standing before you, or try to picture them in your mind's eye. And now we're going to send out some loving kindness to them. And there's one of two ways you can do this. As you're thinking of the person, you can just say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. Or if you wish to personalize it, you just insert the person's name into the statements. So you could say, may he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. And now just take a couple of moments to offer your loving kindness to this person that you love dearly. And as you're doing the practice, please just don't let it be lip service. Don't run through the statements really fast or rattle them off very quickly. Try to bring your head and heart together. Put a little bit of feeling behind the words. And with this person we love a lot, it might be very easy to generate that feeling of loving kindness and loving energy towards them. And what we're trying to do is also explore ourselves and notice how the quality of this loving energy feels, so that we can cultivate the same sort of love towards others. A selfless, altruistic love that just wants to give of itself to all freely. And next, I'm going to invite you to call to mind somebody you know who might be having a hard or a difficult time right now. Now, the state of the world today, many people are finding quite difficult. And so by a difficulty, this can be mentally or emotionally, and maybe you know someone who's suffering because of the state of the world. They're overwhelmed by what they see happening around them. And so they're suffering mentally and emotionally because of it. Or maybe you know someone who's suffering because of a loss of a job, lack of finances, loss of an income. Or it can also be someone you know who's suffering physically with a sickness, illness, or disease. Which the disease also, or the illness, can also have a struggle or a difficulty with a mental and emotional component as well, if they've gotten some bad news or something like that. So anyone you know who's going through some sort of difficult time, try to call them into your mind's eye right now. Try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can them seated before you. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness to them in the exact same way you did with the person you love dearly. You can either just use the may you be statements and say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. Otherwise, you can insert the person's name into the statements and say, may he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. And now please just take a moment to offer your loving kindness now to the person that you have imagined before you. And as you're working the practice and exploring yourself and being mindful of how you are and feeling, you might again notice that with this person who's going through some difficulty or is sick, we find it very easy to generate this loving kindness towards them. It's easy to be sort of more compassionate towards them and understanding towards them. In fact, you've probably realized in your own life that maybe when someone was sick or suffering, if they said something unkind to you, it was easy to just sort of let it roll off our back because we understood they weren't in the right frame of mind. And that is really the perspective we should carry with all people. When they are unkind to us or, not acting nicely towards us, we don't know what they're going through, and maybe they are suffering in some way. So just think of that when you come into contact with somebody like that. You can say to yourself, they're sick right now and spiritually sick, and might be easier to help the unkindness roll off your back. But just continue on. Whenever the mind wanders, refocus on this person who's going through some difficulty and just start again. Saying, may you be loved, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful. And now moving on, I'm going to ask you now to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize some sort of neutral person. Now, by a neutral person, sometimes people say, what does that mean? Well, that means someone you have no feelings for, either good or bad. So you don't love them, but you don't really dislike them or hate them in any way either. It's someone that there's really no story attached to them. So it might be a face that you know, but you really know nothing about them. Maybe there's a person who lives in your street or in your community or in your apartment complex that you've seen their face a couple of times or many times, maybe even waved to them as you go about your day or way to work, but you really know nothing about this person. It could be your delivery person. It could be someone that you go and maybe you see in a store that you frequent quite often. Just some sort of person who is neutral to you. Try to imagine, sense, feel, visualize. Picture them before you. Try to see them in your mind's eye. And now try to offer your loving kindness to them. Now with this person you may not know their name, so here is probably just best to use the may you be statements. And so you just say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And now, please take a couple of moments to continue offering your loving kindness to this person. And as you're doing the practice with this neutral person, again, see how it feels for you. This practice is trying to help you cultivate altruistic love, a love that's free and sharing of itself with all people. And then when we get to this neutral person, a couple of things could be happening. Either one, we still continue to find it very easy to do, sending out this loving energy towards them because there's no story attached. So there's no reason why we would dislike them or have any sort of reservation in sending love towards them. But on the flip side of that coin, it could be the opposite. Could be because we really know nothing about them and there's no story attached. We might find it a little bit more difficult to send out energy towards this person. There's nothing wrong with that. Please know that that's fine. You're just becoming aware of yourself and where there's some work to do in truly cultivating altruistic love, a free-flowing love. So if there's a little bit of a less intensity or your mind wanders a little bit more with this neutral person, then that's a barometer for you. That's great. That's showing you where, you need to develop and grow a little bit more. And if it's helpful, then I invite you to continue carrying that smile over, which will maybe help to increase the intensity of the loving kindness you're sending towards this neutral person. But if you find the smile distracting, then just don't use it. It's fine. And now we move on, which for many people, this part becomes a little bit of the most difficult in the loving kindness flow. And now I'm going to ask you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can someone from the present or your past that you might have had a hard or a difficult time getting along with. Someone who may have hurt you, used you, or wronged you in some type of way. Or someone with whom you just had conflict. Someone who knows how to irritate you, or, you just don't see eye to eye. Now, if you are new or joining us for the first time this morning, still a beginner in the practice, please don't choose the most hated or most difficult relationship you can think about in your life or the world. Choose something that's a little bit more of a mild irritation so you're not too overwhelmed by thinking of this person. And now what you're going to do is just try to offer your loving kindness to this person that's hurt you or harmed you in some way. Offering them these phrases. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And just see how that feels for you. Right off the bat, you may notice that with this person, there maybe is a little bit of a lack of intensity. There might even be a little voice in the back of your head saying, I really don't wish this for you. You've hurt me or harmed me. And the default state of our mind is that when we're hurt or harmed by somebody, we want them to be hurt or harmed also. Say something unkind to me, I'm going to say something unkind to you. But we want to break that cycle. We want to break that default state of mind and return kindness for unkindness. The Buddha said that hatred does not cease by hatred, but by love alone is it healed. This is the ancient and eternal law. And the Christ said to love thy enemies. And this part of the practice is where we're actually learning how to do that. So while this might be a little bit challenging, it can also be a very liberating part of the practice, one where we cultivate forgiveness and learn how to radiate boundless love towards all beings everywhere. So even if it seems mechanical, just continue on, offering this person who's hurt you or harmed you some loving energy. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And now, last but definitely not least, we're going to send out our loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. So once again, just silently repeat these 4 phrases after me. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. And now please take this final moment to sincerely and wholeheartedly offer your loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. And please know that when we're saying may all beings be loved, we're not only talking human beings. So in these phrases, when we say all beings, we mean anything with life. All life everywhere. Humans, animals, plants, and everything else that has life in it, which is really everything. We are sending out these well wishes too. And if you find it difficult to think about how to do this, what you can do is, there's a little visualization I share at this point. You can think of yourself seated where you are, and then maybe think of your friends and family gathered around you in an infinite sea of beings gathered around them in all directions. And then send out this loving energy towards all of them. And you can even think of yourself as like a radio transmitter sending out waves of energy. So when you say may all beings be loved, send out whatever color symbolizes love to you, send out that colored wave in all directions. When you say may all beings be happy, send out a happy colored wave in all directions. May all beings be healthy, send out a healing colored wave in all directions. May all beings be peaceful, send out a peaceful colored wave in all directions throughout the entire universe. Now if that visualization is distracting to you, then please don't utilize it. Just put it aside and just continue in your own way, sending out these loving energies. I only offer that as a tip, and every tip doesn't work for all people and all minds. Our meditation has come to its end. You may need to bring some gentle movement to your body. You might want to begin to wiggle your toes or gently wiggle your fingers. Others might like to take just a couple of deep breaths to bring their awareness back to the body, grounded again in this room or whatever space you might be in practicing this morning. And whenever you feel ready, just slowly begin to open your eyes. I truly thank each and every one of you for joining us today. I love you all. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a very blessed and beautiful weekend. And I look forward again to seeing you on Monday morning. And if you're anywhere from Stuart, Florida, up until just about Indian Harbor Beach, and you want to tune in, please, I'm excited to share the radio show that I have with my co-host Wes Gordon. And we recorded our first show yesterday, so if you didn't catch that, it is on Facebook somewhere in some of the pages. But if you want to tune into the broadcast of the radio show, it's on 101.7 Real Talk Radio, and our show is called Conscious Conversations, and I look forward to doing more and conversing more with Wes. The first one was really fun, and I look forward to talking about more wonderful topics in the future. This first show is really just an introduction to what our show is going to be about, but I hope you'll tune in, and I thank you all. And until I see you on Monday morning, again, I hope that your weekend is filled with an abundance of love, health, happiness, and peace. Have a great day.